All righty, we'll start with fifth place. You all have to stand. Sorry, they want to hear from you. They want to hear how you did this, how you made it happen. Incredible 2017. Let's take a look at what it took to get into the top 5 here. All right, Cyndy and Michael Uschak. First of all, I love you guys. Step out a little bit further. Y'all, everybody step out a little bit. Let's come out on stage a little bit further. Here we go. I tell you what, y'all's hard work, perseverance, tenacity, the love, the big hearts you have for your team. I've been in cars with you guys traveling across. I've seen you just pour into your organization, and it shows with this big win this year. In June 2015, she stepped up to Sapphire. Then in January and February, she had a challenge a few months later. So she steps up to Sapphire. Very exciting times, right? Everybody wants to be a member of the exclusive world team. But sometimes challenges come along. And your director didn't qualify for 2 months. And what was interesting about that time is rather than getting discouraged or questioning her business or hiding in a hole somewhere, you just went out there and loved on more people. You worked harder than ever. You treated your team. You let them know you were there for them when they were ready, when the time was right for them. That was okay for you. And you know what? The story continues to get brighter. What's interesting, too, is during that time when her business took a nosedive, she went out there and did more than ever. She increased personal sponsoring. You increased team sponsoring. You did exactly what we're supposed to do, but yet all of our emotions can tell us the opposite, right? Can take us in the opposite direction. And resulting in that, you developed not just one, but now you're qualifying 2 consistent directors, emerald directors within your organization. And you had 37% growth over the past 12 months. But here, get this is very impressive, 94% growth in sponsoring. We've talked a lot about that, haven't we? We will not end the trend, and we will not build healthy, strong organizations without a focus on that. And you have improved in that area drastically, 94%. Sponsoring, you went from 152 people in your entire organization a year ago to 295 this past year within your organization. Wow, think about that. This plaque right here represents that many people's lives that you've touched this past year. And the big thing I want to say one more time is your team followed your lead. When the team had a dip, you went out there, let's say it again, and sponsoring went up. I was up early this morning pouring even further over your records. I was like, wow, there's a clue to this leadership here. It's a clue to what happened this past year. Would you please share with us what this means to you guys?
Well, this is actually a total shock because, I'm not one to be watching the numbers, but I just really keep sharing and just believing, and this convention has even pushed that up even higher. And I encourage everybody, my team, to always, no matter what, even if you're not up here, hey, we've all been there, but just to keep going, and you will be, because you just got to stay in the game.
Wow. And just to put this business in perspective, again, you nearly doubled the business this past year. You went from 55, and I want to look at here, this is even just in this year already, the growth. This is just in the last 6 months. First 6 months of last year was 55,000 points. This first 6 months of this year was 101,000 points. Okay? So that means on this pace, you'll have over $250,000, well over $250,000 in sales this year. That's a lot of business, ladies and gentlemen. Any last tip that you want to share with everyone who's listening here and says, what do I need to do to get here?
Just keep sharing, just keep following up. I'm getting bolder in sharing product and business, and you're never too old. So, like my son said, Mom, I think you're going to be here even when you're 80. So, and we've seen that already with people. So they're such an inspiration for me.
Great job. I couldn't be happier to see this happen to such a wonderful couple. Thank you all so much. Anything you want to add? I know you're so proud of your wife. You tell me all the time in private when we're just two of us.
I am very proud of my wife. Yep, she worked hard, and it shows. It shows. So, yeah, just persist, don't give up, and follow up. That's the key.
And you husbands, you need to be like Mike, and you need to be like Henry. They sit there, they get there early, they set up the meeting rooms, they register everybody, sign them all in. They load the boxes, unload the boxes. They help out with chores around the house so that they can do this together as a team. They recognize their strengths and weaknesses, and they work together to make an unbelievable team. I've stayed in both of your homes many a times. I know what I just said. It's a beautiful, beautiful teams here. And she started out as a single mother, and that's amazing. And then she got in this business and found the man of her dreams. So, things just, what a story. All right, Mike and Glenda Drake. You guys, what a privilege to hang out with you guys at leadership school. They were actually there for Ruby orientation because they stepped up to 1 Ruby last year. Thank you so much for how much y'all poured into that group of Emerald directors. You guys were definitely a hit being there at leadership school. You had your second best month with, they're 1 Rubies, and 1 Ruby means 3 directors front level and 20,000 group volume. You guys are blowing that away. You had 33,000 points. Total this past 12 months, that's 350,000 PV, which is over that's a $500,000 size business, okay? So don't let, I want to put that in perspective. That's a big business. You're doing a lot more than even 1 Ruby. And what's really impressive is in the midst of your PV growth, your sponsoring growth is double your PV growth. So what that tells me, if you keep that up, we're going to see you on stage again next year. Would you share with us a tip on how you did that and what it means to you guys?
I just feel like it's our upline, amazing. Our downline team is incredible, working hard. And success team was really helpful too. All those tools, it's incredible. And just learning to be more bold. And yes, thank you. Thank you for all of this. It's amazing. And I'm really pretty shocked to be here.
Yeah, I can't improve on that. It definitely is the team that you build underneath you. And of course, you have to invest in them. And we hopefully are doing that. But we're very mindful that we don't get to be here if there aren't others who are also joining in this effort. And we have a lot of them who are doing that. And we're so grateful for that. And as Glenda said, to Louie and Laverne Smith, who've continued to invest in us, that's just been very powerful. Kendra said something yesterday morning, I thought that was really insightful too, is just that reminder that this is a family business, and all of us being the family, and how you're not really stepping on each other, but yet you're helping each other. And I see that happen all the time. I'm thrilled for these people right here to be a part of this and to be a part of it with them. So it's just an amazing thing to be a part of.
Thank you, Mike.
And that leadership school is such a privilege to be with all those emeralds, and amazing. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you all so much. Congratulations. Well, Henry and Maryellen, this moment's been coming for a long time. You've been in the business now for how many years?
23.
23 years. Yeah, give them a huge round of applause. Talk about staying power, consistency, grit, determination. I want to put this in perspective as well. Over the past 12 months, now 31% growth in volume, 51% growth in sponsoring. So your organization is on this is just the beginning of a very exciting ride in Canada. You guys are setting a lot of records monthly. We're celebrating this every month. Emails are circulating. They did it again. And you did 415,000 PV. That's over $500,000 in sales. That's over $550,000 in distributor costs and sales. Your sponsoring last year was 283. This year, 426. Wow. You've got a lot of team here as well, it shows. And I'd like to ask you, and also 2 new directors in your organization. I know they're now emeralds. I know that's the biggest feather in your cap to see the leadership growing in your team. I want to, as I hand this mic to you, I want to just thank you so much for how you've been persistent, as I said earlier, and consistent through those years. Because we're in very exciting times, but there was never anything to rock. I know you've shared this with me, your confidence in the integrity or the company always was there for you and solid. But there was challenges in Canada, and you persisted through them, and that's why you're here today.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Josh. The big changer in Canada was the NeoLife Club. Once we brought the NeoLife Club in, it just made everything so easy. I used to try and explain the business, and I don't really think I even knew what I was doing myself. It was so complicated. And now Josh has this amazing system in place. The Achievers Club tells people what to do. We've got our Commit to Success forms. We have our Evening of Champions. And, I'm so excited to be able to recognize all my team. And we have a policy. Everyone's recognized the same. It's we have a system in place. They know what they can achieve, and they're just blowing it. So we are so proud of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if you want to hear more from these power couples, Henry and Maryellen will be on a panel later on called Tips from the Top this afternoon. So, Henry, do you have a comment as well? Thank you for all you do.
I do. We had 2 directors on our team this year, but we also had 2 world team step-ups.
Yes.
So just to clear that up there, Josh. And I think what has happened too is the conventions. 4 years ago, 2014, we were the only 2 Canadians at the convention. This year, we are almost 40 strong and getting better. They're all up there somewhere. I see them. I can see the white flags waving. So we're so proud of everybody, all the Canadians, and there we go.
Thank you so much, Henry. All right, y'all make sure you don't miss the panel later, Tips from the Top, and I'll squeeze in between y'all. All right, next we have Chad and Jenise Johnson, who will also be on Tips from the Top panel. And Chad and Jenise, are within, right at this moment, 400 PV of their best month ever. You probably don't even know that. You're sitting here serving your team, taking care of them, and you're about to have a best month. So we still have plenty of time left in the month to really blow that out of the water, right? In August, they became new Sapphire directors, members of the world team. You did it just perfect timing to get your tickets to Cancun. So I would love for the crowd here to find out what that experience is like. But they have 2 new Emerald directors, Kim Williams, Katie and Elisha Votberg, which also became a world team member as well. We recognized them yesterday. And they have new Emeralds in their organization. You had 146% growth over the past 12 in volume and 129% growth in sponsoring. And the last 12 months, well, let's look at this. First 6 months was 33,000 versus, let's say this right. First 6 months of last year was 33,000 versus this year 107,000 PV. That's 222% growth. Okay? That's a big deal. 195 new people came in your team. And what's also interesting is as we move up through the top 5, you'll notice a percentage of promoters versus club members begins to rise pretty drastically. And so, success leaves clues, and we want to discover what those are. We'll hear more about that, I'm sure, on Tips for the Top. Would you share with us what this means to you, Jenise?
Well, our downline, they're going with or without us. So when my daughter's over there filling out her tracker and she's maxing it out, I'm like, come on, honey, let's go. And so that's super motivating. But anyway, it's just encouraging. And I used to be kind of scared about sharing with people and feeling like I'm in their space. But now it's just getting fun. You just get over your fears, and it just gets fun. And I'm just always listening. I'll be in the cashier line and just talking. I'm a mother of 11 children, so we got a lot of food going through. So I get a lot of cashiers, actually, and they get interested in the business and the products. Mm-hmm. But it's just listening and caring and being all ears. So.
Well, you know what? I am just so grateful for you, Josh, and Kendra, and Jerry, and what you guys are doing in really resurrecting something that's so precious and so valuable. You never let NeoLife die, but man, the new life, NeoLife, that's coming into this business with your leadership, with your vision, with Kendra's vision, and with Allan Blain. I would not be here if Allan Blain had not gone deep and listened to what, the wiser, older gentleman who's a one diamond said, right? He gave good counsel, and he said, go deep. And Allan started building underneath us and working with our daughter and others. And he started working all around us. And he started working with my wife. And I'll be real frank with you, I can't take credit for any of this, not one bit. I literally have been a little bit of a dead weight to this young lady on my left. And I apologize to you in front of it, but I am excited, and I'm going to say this, that's going to change. It's going to change. I'm done being her problem. I'm going to be a part of her solution. So, really excited to be here.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Jenise. All right. Well, we've been in familiar places here, haven't we? Just last year, you guys were #1 world team. And speaking of putting this into some sort of perspective, this past year, 7 new Emerald directors, 3 new Sapphire directors. Your PV went from 377,000 to 812,000 PV. That's 115% growth. As you start getting these levels, we all know that says a lot when you more than double at that size of business. That's well over $1 million in just wholesale value in sales. So, wow. Also, look at this. You went from 624 people in your team your first year to over 1,000 people brought into your organization your second year. And around 10% of those in your organization, actually it's over 10% when you start factoring all your world team members, are becoming promoters and stepping up right away to build the business. So you obviously have a clear vision of where you're going, and you're unashamed to share it. Chad said something that reminds me of something too. Behind every great leadership, power couple seems to be a wife who, I remember, you were working away as a CEO of a company. We'll hear more about this and tips from the top, but you were slaving away, busy, working, traveling, and all that. And Nicole, you had a vision. I remember you telling me, I'm going to get this thing started on the side, and my husband will get to come home. Yeah. And, oftentimes, y'all remember the story. It starts like that. Jenise seeing it, Nicole seeing it, and then it happens. It doesn't always happen in our timing, but then it happens. So let me hand the mic to you guys. And I guess one question I want to ask you is, what does it feel like? You were #1 last year, and now to your right is a #1 within your organization. Wow, I don't know anything to say but wow to that accomplishment. Wow.
We feel overjoyed. Marjorie Clark and Laverne Smith talked about it so well, about this business, how it's about, just loving on others, servanthood, and that's what this couple is right here. They have huge hearts, big servant heart, and just love, pour on others, and that's why they're up here, and they deserve this award more than anyone. And Allan and I, last convention, after convention, we talked about it, and we had a goal, a strong desire to see some of our team up here, or to have someone win the #1 world team, and it happened. And so we're just thrilled and thankful, and we just feel extremely blessed in our team. It's fantastic, all of them. They just follow this guy and do what he says, and it happens. Anything they touch turns to gold.
I ditto that, and thank you. I am thankful Nicole started our business for us, or like Josh said, I wouldn't be here. So those of you that have a spouse and the other half's not quite on board yet, keep the faith. Seen it many times. We're living proof of that. Also agree with Nicole that seeing you guys as #1, we didn't care who it was. after being number one last year, we just wanted somebody in our team, you know, if it was God's will, to be standing in that spot right there. So can't be happier for you guys, and you guys at number 3 too, Chad and Jenise. I guess I'd just like to say I love this business. I absolutely love this business. And I'll tell you why I love this business is as CEO of a real estate development company for many years, I used to develop land and build houses. Now we get to link arms with people and develop people and build leaders, and there's nothing more rewarding. So great job, congratulations.
And let's step up just a little bit here, because I want to make sure you guys aren't hiding out here. Wow, number 1. What a beautiful trophy there in your frame. Wow. And what does this mean? There's only one number 1. Number 1. And here's what it looks like here in this organization. 2 new Sapphire directors, Chad and Jenise Johnson, Katie and Elisha Vogtberg, and you're looking at, you know, your organization on stage as well. Can't wait to hear what that feels like. You have, by the way, you're within 2,000 PV of your best month as well. I'm sure it's less than that. That was 4 a.m. this morning. And you have over $500,000 in sales. You went from 142,000 to 342,000 PV last year versus this year. 139% growth. Sponsoring went up 172%. Wow. 395 new people joined your organization. Over 10% of those joined as promoters. And I can't wait to hear from you guys. What does this all mean to you to be standing on stage as number 1?
Well, I
Marilee.
feel, thank you so much. I feel kind of undeserving of all this. We've been really super busy and just growing our family still. I just had our 9th baby 4 months ago, so life's really busy still. But our team is incredible. Allan and Nicole, we owe so much to them. They are leaders, and they have poured into us and our team, and you guys are so amazing. Thank you for your leadership. We love you. And thank you. And our team growing with us and alongside of us. I've had so much fun working with everybody, and there's so many of you guys here. It is so fun to be here together. I love all of you. We also love our Washington family and our Canadian family and our Africa family. I just love all of you so much. Each one of you have a story that I use and I love to share with others because it's all about each individual person and their needs. And so it's exciting to glean from each other and share that. And I'm very excited about the future. I have a vision. I just don't know if I have enough time to make it happen, but I'll just do the power hour, right, Jenise? Anyway, thank you so much.
I think what Marilee said about being really humbled by the fact that we won this award, there are so many people that I'm blown away with in our organization that have really taken the cause of sharing good health and ending the trend, as Josh always says. They care about people, and this business is all about caring about people. And I think, to me, the really important thing is to not quit. So many times we get discouraged, we get frustrated, but that's life. And you heard Jerry's story, which was so powerful, about him with the flat tire and the car out front and not wanting to go outside, scared to death. And we've all hit that. We've hit those roadblocks. But the bottom line is this product, this company, it's so consistent. The quality, the integrity of our leadership, the integrity of the Scientific Advisory Board, the integrity of our team. Being surrounded, I hate using the word downline because I learn more from them than they learn from me, I believe. It's very humbling to be able to work alongside so many awesome people and really carry a message that the world is dying for and be able to help so many people. But I'm just blown away and humbled by this whole thing.
You know, one of the things I'd like to also thank you guys for is that, and I think it's a great, you talked about don't quit. 16 years ago, you got started on the products, started building a business at that time. Then you got married, and a lot of things happen with life. But one thing about Dwight and Marilee is they never got distracted by any other businesses in our industry. Everybody kept trying to recruit this couple. They're a power couple. And yet you always stayed true, stayed consistent because, in your own words, you just said, why? Say it again.
The integrity of the product, the scientific advisory board. I looked at literally probably 50 other companies because people would come and try to recruit, and nothing even came close. And the integrity of the management and the vision they have, and the fact that they just care about people and integrity.
Well, I'm so excited. The time has come. You guys are back in and you're building. What an incredible job you did this past year. I want to thank you. Now, don't go anywhere. You're going to need to stay on stage for another moment because we have another surprise.